Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about battles in Warhammer 40K, or campaigns of Warhammer 40K, as we get into the Assault on Blackreach. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And of course, if you have any requests, comment your requests and we will try to create a video for you. Check out our archive of lore videos because we might have already created a video for your request. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on Blackreach. Blackreach is an Imperial hive world located in the Ultima Segmentum that was fought over by the Ultramarine 2nd Company under Captain Cato Sicarius. In the year 855 of the 41st millennium, the hive world of Blackreach, and to a lesser extent, its neighboring planets of Jedog and Voldermatch in the Blackreach system, were overcome by a surging orc wall, primarily composed of warriors of the Goth clan, under the control of greenskin warlord Zanzag. Blackreach, although ostensibly valueless, was of great tactical importance to the Ultramarines chapter's realm of Ultramar. The planet is surrounded by a series of asteroid belts, so dense that should Blackreach and its vast array of orbital debris ever become infested by Xenos, it would take centuries to exterminate them all. Furthermore, the magnetic elements of the Blackreach asteroid belt made it extremely difficult to contact Blackreach from out-system, let alone augur the whereabouts of individual armies and their war leaders within the system. An alien invasion of the Imperium could be mustered there, right under the nose of Ultramar, and remain undetected until it was time to strike against the Ultramarines' home region. All three planets in the Blackreach system were overcome by a surging orc wall, which bursted into real space through Jorgen's Eye, a wormhole thought to be connected to the Eldar webway in the Vindar sector. How the primitive orc fleet pulled off such a feat of interstellar bravado is unknown, but the greenskin forces descended upon the Blackreach system so quickly that such disturbing questions were put aside by the Ultramarines High Command on Macragge in favor of readying for the coming battle. When the fleet's long-range Auspex arrays confirmed their astropath's claim that the system of Blackreach was under attack, the warriors of Ultramar were left with no choice. Without any real knowledge of the size or disposition of the enemy forces, the Adeptus Astartes would have to engage the invaders upon Blackreach itself, and destroy every last one of them before the system became choked with greenskin spores. Due to multiple encroaching Tyranid hive fleets penetrating the eastern sector of the Ultramar pocket, only the Ultramarine 2nd Company could be spared to stem the orc menace. Captain Cato Sicarius, an inspiring leader and exceptional warrior, whose star was in ascendance in the chapter, was tasked with taking a detachment of Ultramarines planetside, ascertaining the disposition of the orc forces, and reinforcing the embattled Imperial garrison native to Blackreach. The captain also had a mission of his own, to bring back the head of the orc war leader behind the invading horde. Sicarius vowed that his men were equal to the task, provided they were afforded full planet strike support from the Imperial Navy. Sicarius' plan was for the fleet to unleash a punishing orbital bombardment of Melta and Plasma warheads prior to the Ultramarines' main attack, while heading planetside with his personal Thunderhawk gunship, the Gladius. Sicarius would seek out the sections of the battle zones where the orc forces still maintained a disciplined formation even in the terrifying midst of a bombardment, reasoning that this would be the location of the orc war boss. He would then land and personally execute the war boss at the heart of this new invasion. It was a plan so audacious that even Sicarius' sergeants had their doubts as to its feasibility, but the Ultramarines were ever courageous, some might even say foolhardy, in the face of extreme danger. Battle hymns were sung, weapons were primed, and before long, the strike was launched, seeking to confirm the ever-resourceful war boss Zanzag's death by killing him personally outside the walls of Gospora Hive. Captain Sicarius led his assault upon the position of the orc leader. Sicarius had under his command a full tactical squad, the legendary Terminators of Squad Helios, under the command of Brother Antheo, a mighty force indeed. Sicarius prayed it would be a force enough. The sands outside the hive were soon turned green with the sick alien blood of orcs. Explosive warheads detonated in the midst of hordes as the orcs ran for cover, but a tight group of greenskins still advanced upon the Imperial Guard bastions, as if the bombardment was nothing more than a little rain. Sicarius' tactical acumen quickly located Warboss Zanzag and his retinue as the captain issued orders to land the Thunderhawk and attack. As the surrounding area was consumed by the wrath of the orbital bombardment, Sicarius and Zanzag met blade to blade in the eye of the storm. But ultimately the orcs were forced to withdraw. Zanzag escaped the battle at the wall of Gospora Hive, and both factions recovered swiftly from their earlier encounter. With Sicarius and the bulk of his strike force elsewhere, the orc renewed their attack on Gospora Hive. However, Sicarius had foreseen this possibility and took the appropriate precautions, deploying several Thunderfire cannons in defensive positions around the beleaguered Hive City. These formidable weapons mowed down the incoming orcs in droves. As Sicarius continued his search for the orc war leader, he received a distress call from the desperate Blackreach Planetary Defense Force defending Sophora Hive. Torn between his sworn oath to seek out and kill Zanzag and to defend the Imperial citizens of the Hive City, Sicarius temporarily abandoned his hunt for Zanzag to help bolster the beleaguered PDF garrison. Unable to trace Zanzag's retreat, Sicarius instead tasked Scout Sergeant Torias Telion and 2 squads of Scout Marines with finding the Warboss' hidden lair. Telion did this by waiting patiently for Zanzag's Ludus to appear, and when they surfaced, placing a tracer beacon upon their ramshackled submersible before it returned to base. Armed with coordinates of the orc base, the Ultramarines readied their forces and prepared to mount a full-scale raid upon Zanzag's position. The first the orcs knew of the Space Marine attack was when the Thunderhawk Gladius burst through the waterfall at the mouth of Zanzag's lair, guns blazing. The havoc that ensued was utter chaos, and it took a good while before Zanzag could restore order. Having inflicted terrible casualties upon Zanzag's forces, Captain Sicarius would settle for nothing less than killing Zanzag once and for all. As they fought their way clear of Zanzag's underground hideout, the Ultramarines found that the Warboss had fled through the tunnels at the rear of the cave. They plunged into the tunnels in hot pursuit. Though they were initially separated, the Ultramarines commander and his squad caught up with the Terminators of Squad Helios, and Sicarius strode confidently forward into the vanguard of his force. As they exited the minehead, Sicarius saw Zanzag and his retinue looping towards his strike force's position. Just as the Warboss tasted the sweet air of freedom, the remaining Ultramarines emerged from the minehead and brought him to bay. There could only be one victor, as the maddened orcs prepared to sell their lives dearly. After hours of bloody fighting, Zanzag was finally killed. However, the cost had been high for the Second Company. A dozen Space Marines plus 1 Terminator were lost in the fighting. Following the defeat of the orc warboss, Sicarius led a series of lightning strikes that broke the back of the orc wall, effectively eliminating the Greenskins' continued ability to wage war. Inevitably, there was much infighting amongst the orc ranks following Zanzag's death, as other knobs sought to assume control of the wall. But ultimately, orders could not be maintained with the orcs' ranks following the death of such a powerful warboss. The orcs were left effectively leaderless and highly disorganized. Having achieved their primary objective, Captain Sicarius and his Ultramarines departed Blackreach, leaving the local Imperial Guard and Planetary Defense Force to secure the planet and to hunt down and mop up any remaining pockets of greenskins. And those were 40 facts on Blackreach. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for making the suggestion for this lore video. Blackreach and the assault on Blackreach, the whole story of Blackreach is really dear to my heart. If you don't know, the assault on Blackreach comes from, or it came with a starter set that came out maybe 5th edition, I believe. It was definitely after Battle of Macragge. But what's cool about this box set is it came with the Ultramarines and it came with orcs, and both the armies were massive. Me and my play group started playing around Battle of Macragge, so that was back when the Ultramarines versus the Tyranids came out, and then we stopped playing for a while. Nobody really wanted to play from the play group, so I was left alone with all these models, and then Blackreach came out. and that was back when I started getting into orcs. And I saw the models for the orcs, and they were just amazing. The Death Copters were so unique. The War Boss was awesome because it came with a power claw. It came with really cool like revolvers on its back. Everything was like clip-on, so I didn't really have to worry about getting my fingers all stuck together. And it just looked awesome. And again, it was plastic, not metal, because all the other War Bosses were metal at that time. And this box set really made me realize that I can continue the hobby with or without my friends. Because even though they weren't there to play with me in the game, collecting, painting, and reading the lore was still really, really fun, and it could sustain the hobby for me. I found enjoyment from the hobby, from just painting and building these awesome orc models. So that's why Blackreach is really dear to my heart. And at the same time, I became infatuated with just getting as many Death Copters as possible. That's why if you look at any one of our battle reports right now, I never go into battle without Death Copters, and they all are Death Copters that come from this box set. Of course, these Death Copters are the only ones that GW has produced. Well, GW had some other ones, but they looked really goofy, and I really never saw them. I think they were metal. But if you look at all of our battle reports, I always go into battle with these Death Copters that are really beat up. The helicopter blades are broken. Half of them are on the ground because they used to come on the little clear stands to designate that they were flyers. Well, I would put those in my shoebox, which I would use to transport my army, and they would snap off. So ultimately, that's why when you see the battle reports, I have a lot of Death Copters, but they're unpainted, broken, and they just look kind of weird. But I mean, that motto itself is what kept me going in Warhammer 40K, and ultimately, it's what made me keep trying to get my friends back into Warhammer 40K, because I would show them my progress on my army, and it was Assault on Blackreach that allowed me to do that. So that's why this whole story is special, and of course, it's pretty badass to hear about, Captain Cato Sicarius fighting the Orc War Boss. Thanks so much, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what model or what starter set kept you in the game or got you started in the game. And of course, if you have any suggestions or requests, comment down below. I will try my best to create a video for you. If you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You're telling YouTube that you want to see more content from us if you do that. If you want to support us a little bit more, jump on over to Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos. And if you can't, again, simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. But with that said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. This is Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.